If you love to add texture to your cards, but hate the bulk that it can sometimes add, well, why not try this fun technique where you use a flock to add some fun texture to your cards with some double-sided adhesive sheets. I'm using the Wow Embossing Powder flock to create 2 bold, modern, geometric cards perfect for anybody. It's Verity here from the creative team, and welcome back to the Wow Embossing Powder YouTube channel. So as I mentioned, I am using some flock from Wow Embossing Powder. This is the lemon yellow. It's a very bright, vibrant yellow, and it's got a gorgeous colour to it. So they come in quite big pots, and on the side it tells you how to use them. Now you need to use them with something adhesive, and then also just heat set it to ensure it stays put. So the adhesive I'm going to use with the flock is some double-sided sheets. The ones I'm using come from Altenew, but you can use any double-sided adhesive sheets you have. And I'm just adding this to some cardstock. Now I do put it on both sides because it makes it easier to add the intricate die cut later on when the adhesive's already on the back. So I'm using this Triangles Geometric cover plate die from Catherine Pooler Designs, and I'm running that through my die cutting machine. And once I'm doing that, I'm just removing the release paper of the outline of the die because I want to add the flock to all of the sticky adhesive. I'm putting some paper down before I then cover the cover plate die with that flock. So I'm using that paper just to catch the excess of the flock. It is a bit of a messy technique, so you've got to get used to just popping your fingers right in there and really burnishing that flock down into that adhesive because you really want to make sure it sticks well. Any of the products I'm using today will be listed in and linked down in the description box below or on the blog, so just check those out if you are interested in any of the products used. Once I've burnished that all in, I'm just tapping off any excess and then going back in and adding some more over the areas where it's a bit paler and a bit lighter. So I removed the flock die cut from the backing paper, and I'm using my heat gun on the first speed setting, and I'm just gently going over it with some heat, making sure I'm moving it all the time. And this is just to ensure that it stays put, adding the heat to the flock. Now, as I'd used a yellow, I decided to go with the Pantone colours of the year, which is a yellow and grey. And I have adhered this down to a soft stone card base from Gina Designs. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, I put the adhesive sheets on both sides of the cards, just making it easier to adhere this delicate and intricate die cut down. And to ensure it adheres well, I'm just using my bone folder just to go over and burnish it. So for this card, I am using the Deco Thanks die from Catherine Pooler Designs. It cuts the outline as well as the individual letters, and I have just adhered the white outline down onto the card base. I'm then inlaying the white letters back in, and then adding some black letters over the top, so I've die cut it out of black as well. And this is just to give the inner letters a little bit of dimension by, first of all, inlaying the white back in, and then adhering the black ones over the top. So obviously when I die cut that cover plate die, it has a lot of extra triangles and odd shapes in it that are usable. They've all got a bit of adhesive on them. So I'm just using them and placing them randomly on a piece of soft stone card base again. And I'm varying the direction, and I'm kind of creating movement across the panel diagonally. Once I've then added all of those on, I can then just take off the release paper. Now I found a very easy way to do that is just rubbing my bone folder over the top to actually burnish the triangles down to make sure they'd adhered well onto the card. But as I was doing that, it was also removing the backing paper on top of the triangles, so it made it easier for them to come off. And once they all came off, I then just again added the flock over the top, used my fingers to burnish it down, and the piece of paper on the back was just to capture all of that excess flock that I could then put back into my pot. Now again, this card was then finished with that black outline die that I'd used to get the inner letters of the first card. And then I'm just going in with some Nouveau drops in primary ebony just to add a bit of more interest to pop against the black that's already there. And I really liked how these 2 cards came out. They really added sort of a fun, bold geometric design. These would be perfect to send to a male as a thank you card. Sometimes you do struggle with more masculine cards, so doing something like this where you've got that pop of colour, you've got that geometric style and the modern style look to the card can really suit a more masculine style card. Let me know in the comments below whether you've tried out using flock in your cards and how you felt about it and what you thought. I really enjoyed this. It's a great way of adding some texture to your cards, but it doesn't add a lot of bulk to your cards, which is great when you're needing to put it in the post and you've got to think about that postage. If you're new to this channel, why not think about subscribing, and you can also hit that bell icon to be notified when the next video is up. And if you'd like to check out my personal channel, Pretty Little Button, I've included a link here as well as down below. For 10% discount at the Wow Embossing Powder shop, just enter the code you can see on screen. And until next time, happy crafting!